Alaikum. I am Dr. Shafiqur Rahman. In my last lecture, I have explained the cybersecurity, but in my today lecture, I am going to talk on the topic of security requirements for cyber physical system. As I said before, cyber physical systems are going through a revolutionary stage in their development, and therefore, cyber physical systems face many challenges. Security is one of the most important of these challenges. And to handle the security, the one important aspect we have to focus on security requirements. So therefore in this lecture we will see how to identify the security requirements for cyber physical systems. Recently we see many incidents of cyber attacks have been reported on daily basis. We heard news about cyber attacks. For example, there is a denial of service attacks, the confidential information are stolen, also identify identity theft of users, and many more. So in this sense, organizations are very curious about security because they are facing financial losses and also bad reputation in the market. The problem of security is that it is considered as an afterthought process. As a result, this also leads to security threats, and probably these threats and attack could create serious consequences. So early acknowledgement of security threats to predict threats and their consequences before a system is in place, rather than as a reactions to possibly disastrous attack. Since developing a secure system is also not simple and it is very challenging. Therefore, it is very hard to deliver a secure system. The importance of addressing security from the very beginning is widely accepted. Integrating security requirements right at the beginning not only ensure secure software but also save time and it reduce effort of rework of software development team. On the other hand, ignoring security requirements in the elicitation process of cyber physical system may cause the product to be failure. It costly for maintenance and also it is very difficult to manage in the later stages of software. Different studies also shows that cyber threats have increased in the CPS environment and there is a need to do more research to systematically handle the security requirements. So I come to the importance of security requirements. Since the world is moving towards to build a secure system, therefore security has become a primary concern and it is not an afterthought process. Many organizations think that security is the afterthought process, but we have to understand that security is not afterthought process but a very important aspect in the requirement engineering phase. If we see in this diagram, the manager asks to developer, did you fix the security flaws? And the answer from the developer is straightforward. There is no way to know. And he's absolutely right because they didn't have security requirements. Therefore, security requirements should be written before a system is produced so the end product can be measured against them. So security requirement engineering is an important aspect of software system. Therefore, it is crucial to address security requirements in the early phase of software development lifecycle. Now I come to security requirement engineering. Basically, security requirement engineering is a systematic process and it aims to avoid security vulnerabilities and also security threats in software by considering security aspect from the very beginning and throughout the software development lifecycle. If security requirements are not properly defined in the requirement engineering phase, then effective evaluation for success or failure cannot be undertaken. Software security requirements propose many tools, techniques, methods, and also best practices to develop a secure system. But there is a lack of understanding of software security threats and vulnerability. But on the other hand, if we see the practitioners and also researchers are not quite successful to develop a secure system when applying security engineering or software engineering best practices. However, there are a number of methodologies have been proposed for the development of secure software, but still there is a need to improve those methodologies or frameworks. So basically, I come to explain now what is security requirements. Security requirements, as mentioned by Hale, that security requirements are defined as constraint on the function of the systems, and these constraints operationalize one or more security goals. The security goals such as confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Here, the confidentiality refers to that the important or confidential information does not disclose to an unauthorized user, and integrity is referred to that the information is accurate and it cannot be modified in any manner, and availability is that the information is available when needed. For example, the system shall not display customer personal information to the other organizations. And example 2, the system shall provide personal information only to members of HR department. So if we see why we need to focus on security requirements, it is estimated that software development budget to fix security flaws is almost 75% of the total cost after handover of the product to the customer. Of course, this is a huge amount of spending that also build untrustworthiness amongst the customers. This figure shows the value of yearly spending on information or IT security, which shows an escalation of around 8% annually. If we see from 2013 to 2008, it increased every year, and this must be stopped. So far we have seen the importance of security requirements, but the question is how to determine the security requirements. In this case, we require security requirements frameworks or methodologies. Basically, they are complete methodology which help to determine the security requirements. There are many security requirement methodologies, but following are the main frameworks or methodologies. These frameworks help to determine the security requirements for software. For example, Square is a security requirements engineering method which have mainly 9 activities, and Square is a requirement engineering framework and comprehensive methodology of security requirement engineering. The framework also means to elicit, categorize, and prioritize the security requirements of a system. The next is Microsoft SDL. Microsoft Security Development Lifecycle is a large methodology which cover various applications, and it also performs a number of activities to provide a secure software solution. The next is UML security, which is developed by UML to establish security for critical systems. Secure Purpose is a well-defined methodology to allow analysts to consider security issues at all stages of software development lifecycle. CLASP is a lightweight process and it is suitable for small organizations. SRAP is a risk-driven and an asset-based methodology to define the security requirements. On the other hand, CRAS is a model-based risk assessment methodology to analyze the security risk. So now I come to cyber physical system. I already explained what is cyber physical systems. So the previous methods are only applicable for software, not for cyber physical system, because cyber physical systems have mainly three layers: application, network, and physical layer. The existing security requirements methodologies fail to accommodate the security outside of software boundaries. Since the nature of cyber physical system is quite different to classical software system, because of the CPS characteristics of heterogeneity and adaptability, which results from the addition of the physical layer. Typically, they have large infrastructure and operate in a distributed environment. So now I come to explain the security requirement engineering framework for cyber physical system. So in this case, we need security requirements for cyber physical system. To fill this gap, I have developed a security requirements engineering framework for cyber physical system, which consists of a number of activities, and these activities are essential to required to elicit the security requirements. The framework is a systematic process to elicit the security requirements for cyber physical system. And the proposed cyber physical system framework offers complete guidelines for practitioners and researchers to determine the security requirements. Every activity in this framework contributes to determine the security requirements. I'm not going in detail because it is a complete methodology and it needs time to explain. Therefore, I am planning to conduct some workshops where I will train the practitioners and researchers about this framework. In this workshop, I will also cover the main industrial cyber threats and cyber attack points on cyber physical system environment. So the CPS framework I have evaluated and validated on smart car parking systems, where I determine total 170 security requirements. The 100 security requirements belongs to physical layer, 26 security requirement belongs to network layer, and 44 security requirements belongs to applications layer. So if any questions or need more information about security requirements, then you can write me an email on this email addresses. I will explain and deliver my next lecture on the topic of security requirements engineering framework for cyber physical systems. So thanks for your attention.